There's an order? This is new.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jenna Kern-Rugil, and my pronouns are she, her. Thank you for joining us today for our special homecoming service. The flame of our chalice this morning is a symbol of the warmth and brightness of our connections. The flame lights our way back together again from our separate summer lives, and it lights our way forward into this new fellowship year of promise and renewal.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Jerry Farrell. My pronouns are she and her. I'm this year's president of the board, and I'm here to welcome you all to the Welcome Home service of our new fellowship year. September has always been a new year for me. I was working in education, and this month has always been a fresh start, more than January ever seemed to be. We have on our new shoes, we have our fresh pens and notebooks, and we're ready to enjoy a new year at the UUFH. This year will be full of exciting events. We will celebrate our 75th anniversary of being a fellowship. 75 years in our community as a force for liberal faith and social justice. We should pat ourselves on the back. We need to be proud. We will explore who we want to be in the future and who we want that minister to be who guides us on that journey. We are exploring a new governance model and fine-tuning how it flows through our congregation and exploring how to make it work. We also have the pleasure and good fortune to have Reverend Deborah for another year to help us in this transition time. We will have a new minister this spring. I know it. Just a few things to look forward to this year, along with our cherished traditions. And so welcome to everyone, young and old, longtime members and new members, and those new here today. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Jerry. Welcome home. Good morning. Welcome to you here in the main hall. Welcome to those of you on Zoom, and welcome to those of you who may be watching us later on our YouTube channel. I want to welcome and thank the choir, and how about our new house band? In a little while, I'll introduce the staff to you, and I want to welcome them back to a new year. I am so happy to be starting my second interim year with you. The responsive reading I've chosen for this morning's opening words are written by my colleague, the Reverend Amanda Poppy, and you have a role in this reading. Your line is, "This is the home that love made." Can we practice that? This is the home that love made. Okay. And the reading is called "The Home That Love Made." It is this, so all together. It is full of the love that the founders felt when they planned these walls and raised these beams above us. It is full of the love of all who have worshiped here, those who have celebrated here, those who have grieved here. The babies we've dedicated, the couples we've married, the family members mourned here. It is full of the love of our children as they learn and laugh together, and our youth as they grow into their own sense of purpose and meaning. This is the home that love made. It is full of the love of the staff who over these 75 years have served it, full of their hopes for this congregation, their hard work, and their acts of dedication. It is full of the love of the choirs, the love made so clear in the voices that have been lifted here on Sunday mornings. It is full of our love, of this community. Despite our differences and disagreements, the love that has held us together as people. This is the home that love makes. Can you feel that love, my friends? May that love be with us always. Amen. And now, if you would stand, arise in body and spirit as you are able, and join your voices in singing Come, Come, Whoever We Are. We will sing it through twice. All together. And will Julia Barish come forward to do our land acknowledgement?
Let us acknowledge that this building and our lands are on the traditional territories of the Matinecock people, the original nations of Huntington, and the 12 other tribes who owned, farmed, and led societies across Long Island before the European settlers stole these lands. The Matinecock continue to work and live on this land today. Let us commit ourselves to honoring Indigenous people and work for justice and self-determination.
Please join me now in singing Common Ground.
Before we dedicate our symbols, I want to introduce you or reintroduce you to our remarkable staff. Sandra Jens is starting her second year with us. She does an amazing job as our office administrator, and this year she will be working full-time, taking on the responsibilities as our acting Sunday school coordinator. Let me introduce you to the newly married Dr. J. Yee Siegel, our longtime director of music. Jana Cruz and Jackie Donaldson Hawkins. Our child care worker, and Isabella Johnson, our accompanist for at least the last 12 years. UUFH is blessed by their expertise, their skills, their dedication, and their commitment, and I'm delighted to have this experienced team to work with this year. On this table are the symbols of many of our programs and activities of the congregation that make UUFH our special home. Leaders of our congregation and children and youth, when I call your name, if you would come forward to receive a symbol of a dedication of an area of work in our congregation in the year ahead, and Jenna and Sandra will give them to you as I call you forward. We're going to begin by dedicating some of the sacred texts of our congregation. And so, William Thieck, if you would come forward to take the chalice. the symbol of our faith. Jenna, you can pull the sticky note before you give them. Samaya, will you come forward? Samaya is one of our newest children, and she will be taking a copy of the Christian scriptures. Millie will come forward to take a copy of the Torah, the sacred text of the Jewish people. Ellie, will you come forward and take a copy of the Quran? Marisol, will you come forward and take a copy of a book about Asian religions to represent our commitment to teaching about Hinduism? And Lily, will you come forward and take a copy of the Tales of the Buddha? These are symbols of the sacred text of our faith that we will be talking about both in our Sunday school program and in our worship services. So, children, you can go back to your seats. And now let me invite up Jerry Farrell to represent the UUFH board with a copy of our bylaws. And adults, you can go back to your seat, but before you do that, Jerry, I would like the members of the board to please stand up and be recognized. Thank you. Allison Barish, will you come forward to represent our finance work and to take a copy of an offering basket? Nope, the budget, sorry. And will the members who work with Allison on finance, investment, and endowment stand up and be recognized? Thank you. Jason D'Orazio, our head of building and grounds, who oversee our building, our landscape, our safety and security team. Will you come forward and take a wrench representing your work? And will the members of those building and grounds committees please stand up so we can see you and thank you? Sue McGovern, will you come forward to receive the offering basket as a symbol of our annual campaign, our services auction, our plant and pumpkin patch, and all the way that we raise monies to support our denomination? And if you are a member of that committee, one of those committees, would you stand up, please? Thank you. We have a new strategic planning committee, which is just getting formed, and will be involving all of you in the next 5 years. If Christina and Steve Burby can come forward to take a copy of the directory to remind us that strategic planning is work that we will all be doing. Thank you. Carolyn D'Orazio, if you would come forward and take this symbol from Soul Matters, which is the curriculum we'll be using in religious education. And if all of the committee, RE committee and teachers stand up and be recognized, please. Lisa Burby, if you will come forward and take an order of service to represent worship, and will all the worship associates, the people doing lay-led services, the ushers, and the hospitality crew please rise to be recognized. Nikki Willard, will you come forward to represent social justice and take a copy of our Side with Love banner? And will all the members of our justice teams and our community teams please rise to be recognized? Shelley and Judy, would you come forward to get a copy of our membership book representing our membership team, work with our visitors to move to membership. If you would rise if you are connected with our membership group, our book clubs, our meditation, our Touchstone and Wellspring group, and others who provide connection services. Thank you. Will you come forward, please, to represent the choir by dedicating a copy of this hymnal? And will all the members of the choir and other music providers please stand up to be recognized? Terry Donaldson, would you come forward as the chair of our search committee? Will the other members of the search committee please stand up to dedicate a copy of the settlement handbook? And we are grateful for your work on our behalf. And finally, and often, perhaps most importantly, Kim Kyle, who runs our hospitality on Sunday mornings. We call that UU Communion Hour. So thank you. And thank you to all of you. May this be a blessed year. Jenna, if I could ask you to come up and light that candle. Because of the number of things we're doing in this service, we will not be doing individual joys and concerns today, but Jenna will light this candle for all the joys and sorrows you are carrying and holding in your heart. And let me invite you to say into the room the names of the people you might have lit a candle for this morning. I ask us also to take a moment of silence to remember the people who perished in 9/11 and those who died subsequently for being the heroes who went down to that site and have subsequently died of 9/11 diseases. And let me also ask you to hold in your hearts the people of Morocco who are suffering this weekend. I promised you an opportunity to share joys and concerns next week.
Good morning. For those of you that don't know me, I guess Reverend Deborah introduced me before. I'm Sandra Jens, the office administrator, and this year's acting Sunday school coordinator. Can I ask the children and youth please come forward with their backpacks? Okay, you want to go over here? Okay, you want to come sit? We carry our bags with us throughout the week for many reasons. What? Oh, sorry. Hi, Soleil. Okay, you want to come over here so we can see everybody? Okay, yeah, sit there. There you go. Okay, good job. Thank you. Sorry. We carry our bags with us throughout the week for many reasons. Some of us take books and homework to school. Some of us bring our lunches to school. And some of us take our computers and other supplies to places. So are your backpacks starting to fill up? No? Yes? You can speak up, it's okay. Does anyone have an empty backpack? Yeah? Okay, great. So we're going to add something to your bag today, but don't worry. It won't add any weight, and it won't take up any room. So would you like to have some of our congregation's love to take with you to school or on your travels? Okay, great. You guys can say yes or no if you want. It's okay. If you feel love here on Sundays, wouldn't you like to know that our love is with you on other days? So let's put some love in their backpacks from everybody here. Put your hands together and make an invisible snowball. So like a packet, yeah, an invisible snowball. And kids, are you ready? Are your backpacks open? You gotta open your backpacks. Yeah, are your hands? Yeah, are your hands? Are your backpacks open? Okay, good. Okay, great. Thank you, Soleil. Okay, let's gently toss our love into their backpacks. Great, wasn't that fun? Okay, so let's add some more to their bags. Sometimes we get nervous when we go to school, right? Do you guys get nervous sometimes? Okay, great. So sometimes we wish we felt braver. I know I do. I think it would be nice to know that our courage is with you on other days when you need it. So let's do that again. Let's, do the snowball, thanks. And let's throw them some courage. Okay, great. Thank you. So please look around at all the faces here that are among us today, at all the grown-ups. And some people you know, and there are people that you don't know. I want you to know that they love you. Sorry, I get emotional. Sorry, I grew up here and and that they will be with you on the bus and in the hallway, in the lunchroom and on the playground, and in your classrooms. They will be with you in your heart, loving you and cheering you on. Your bag might not look any different or feel any different, but the next time you use your bag, I hope you'll remember that we've added our blessings. So remember that the spirit of life is with you at school. This congregation cares about what happens to you at school, and if you need more love or courage, you can always ask us for more. So now Reverend Deborah will offer you a blessing.
So if you would hold your backpacks up for me. Spirit of life, bless these children as they begin this new school year. Bless them with the wonder of books and learning, with wise, loving teachers and good friends, with laughter, with insight, with time in nature and time with music and art, time for silence and time for sharing. Bless them to be kind, to be strong, to have courage. Let them know that the people of UUFH are here for them and that we hold them in our hearts. May it be a very good school year. And may the people say, Amen. And you may go back to your seats. I'm pleased to bring to you this message from the new president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. Thanks. Who created this video to share with congregations all over the country at the start of this year.
Beloveds, it brings me great joy to welcome you into this season of return, when we celebrate in-gatherings and come back to each other in our congregations and our communities writ large. For me personally, this is a time of return to our Unitarian Universalist Association, and I am humbled by your trust in me as your president. Thank you for the love and support you have shown me, not just during last year's presidential campaign, but during General Assembly in Pittsburgh. Thank you, UUs. We are at the start of our shared ministry together, and we have been invited to consider a whole new way of visioning and resourcing our UUA. Our Commission on Institutional Change has invited us into a type of collaboration that we have not yet fully envisioned. This is work that I cannot do without you, certainly work that I cannot do without our remarkable UUA staff, and I am looking forward to all that we will accomplish together. Beloveds, this is a time to think about and reflect on the call of Unitarian Universalism in these days. Who are we meant to be collectively? And how do we care for one another along the way? In this coming year, once again, we get to lean into our shared values and talk about and discuss and chew on how we express those together as we come back to the next year of work on Article 2. More than just bylaws, however, it matters how we story ourselves into being. Those messages will guide us in our work to come. In this year, we are responding to the call of justice in our nation and around the globe. Beloveds, I know these are difficult times. I know that we are sometimes afraid. I know that we need one another, that there is strength in religious community, and that progressive religious community is called to be a counter-cultural response to what can seem like the inevitable outcome of society today. We believe in human goodness. It is a radical idea. Our liberal tradition guides us toward liberation because we become more free when we are in this work together, when we promote our values together, when we lead together. I want to invite you to sit with me in reflection on all that Unitarian Universalism is called to be in these days. How are you asked? How are you inspired to live your faith in the world? What does your congregation, this community, specialize in? Where is your mission most needed in the surrounding community? And how do we care for one another as we go? Loves, we are called to communal care like never before. We see this in this time when we are re-emerging from the quarantine stage of pandemic. And let me take a moment to say, wow, did we hold one another beautifully and well in these last years. Please let us not lose the lessons we learned about how to hold one another in care, how to protect the health of all, how to center the needs of those most vulnerable among us, so that community writ large continues. What have you learned in these recent years? How are you sharing those learnings with other UUs and with other members of your community? This is the work of communal care as we steward this faith together.
Each week, our split plate provides you with the opportunity to support our spiritual home here at the fellowship, and also to support our UU principals by helping out a worthwhile cause. So those of you with half a brain know that climate change is a real thing. And sadly, we're seeing it all around us, and recently saw it in Hawaii with the devastating wildfires. Through September, half of your donations will go to the Maui Strong Fund. The fund is providing financial resources to support immediate and long-term recovery needs for the people and places affected by this catastrophe. Please give as generously as you are able.
That was beautiful. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Dr. J. I love the start of a congregation year. I love that UU congregations all over the country are convening today, each with their own special traditions, but all to rededicate themselves to the work of our prophetic faith, to create a world where all people are valued, where justice rolls down like mighty waters, where spirit, service, justice, and love will prevail. To create a community where we can bring all of ourselves, where we will be welcomed and accepted just the way we are, where we can find comfort in times of sorrow, aid in time of trouble, and the satisfaction of being part of something bigger than we can do alone. Now, let me confess, I was pretty anxious at homecoming last year. It was my first time in this pulpit as your interim minister, although I had served for 4 months the previous spring. And I was eager to do well, to introduce you to some of my favorite homecoming traditions from my previous congregations, and for you to like me. And I'm betting that some of you who are the longer-term members might have been a little anxious about me too. Who was this new interim? Would she like us? Would we like her? Will we trust her? Would we like the changes she was sure to bring? Year 2 feels a little different, doesn't it? Last year was a remarkable life in the history of this congregation. We came out of the pandemic stronger than we went into it in 2019. 35 people joined our congregation, more than had joined in total in the previous 7 years. And I want to welcome the visitors. We have a number of visitors today and hope that you will enjoy what you find here. Our congregation became younger and diverse last year. We now stand at more than 210 adult members, the highest you have been since before 2017, and the first reversal of a decline in membership that began almost a decade ago. As we worked on worship excellence, our attendance increased. On some Sundays in person and Zoom, we had more than 135 adults in worship. We created, as you heard from Jerry, and began implementing a new governance structure more in line with our size as a program congregation. More of you volunteered than had been volunteering previously, and more of you stepped up to be leaders, and I want to thank each of you. Our stewardship campaign raised almost $60,000 more than the previous year, with 48% of you choosing to increase your pledge last year. Pretty impressive, I think, you all. UUFH began to live our faith aloud in new ways last year. We helped get approval for a new African American museum in Huntington. We helped overturn an outdated abortion statute. We marched and had a table at Long Island Pride, and we sent hundreds of postcards as part of UU the Vote. And earlier today, we hung a new progress flag at the front of our property, demonstrating our commitment to people of all sexual orientations and gender identities. I want to thank you all for making all this happen. And what I want to ask is, if you are on social media, before you get in your car, take a picture with the progress flag, post it on Facebook or Insta or Snapchat. You could send it to Snapfish also. To Twitter if you still insist on staying on it, or to Threads if you've moved like I have, and hashtag UUFH with your picture saying, our congregation hung the first pride flag at a congregation in Huntington, New York. I want to tell you, last year as I stood here, you were just a sea of faces, and now I know you. I know your names, I know your stories, I know your histories, I know your joys, I know your conflicts and your sorrows. I did memorial services last year for 8 of you. I named 2 babies. As the book of Ruth says, your people shall be my people, and indeed you now are. It's going to be very hard to leave you next July. See, Sandra, I cry up here too. Our plans for my second interim year with you are exciting and ambitious. Jerry told you about some of them. We are going to be working to integrate our new members and continue our outreach to new and we hope increasingly diverse communities. We are fully implementing our new governance structure and we will be evaluating it and monitoring it as we go. In 2 weeks, we will be celebrating our 75th anniversary with a gala and a worship service featuring 3 of your past ministers. We will be rolling out a new website in the next few months. Work on a new strategic plan for UUFH will begin later this fall. We will be defining what we want and also what we can afford in a new director of religious education. And as you heard from Jerry, most importantly, you will be calling your next settled minister in the spring. You will shortly receive a survey to provide input to the search committee, and there will be cottage meetings after to discuss your hopes and dreams for this congregation. Next April, you will meet the search committee's candidate, and you will vote on whether to call that person. And we will be saying goodbye to each other late next June. With the support of the worship committee last year, I intentionally changed the name of this service from Ingathering to Homecoming, partially because my own home congregation in Westport always called it Homecoming, and partially because I hope it's how you feel about this community. We are not just gathering, although surely that is part of it. But homecoming is about returning, about re-pledging our support to each other as a family of the heart. I hope you feel that UUFH is your home, that when you come in here, you are coming home in all the best sense of the world. I read a study a few years ago about what it is that makes people happy. And even though people sometimes think that it's more money or a new car or a new kitchen or a new relationship or a new job that will make you happy, what researchers found out that it is only close relationships and full acceptance of our whole selves that makes us happy in the long run. And when I read that, I thought, that's why we do religious congregations. That's what a religious community is for. It's why I've been a member of a UU congregation since 1989, and it is the foundation and grounding of my relationship to ministry. You have all heard me say many times, there is nothing more important than how we treat each other. Home, to paraphrase Robert Frost, is the place where they have to take you, all of you, in. Poet Maya Angelou wrote, "The ache for home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned." The ache for home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned. So that's what I hope you will find here this year. A love you don't have to deserve, an unconditional acceptance where you can just be who and how you are, a love that will sustain you, inspire you, motivate you, engage you in community building, and help you offer your gifts to our hurting world. This, my friends, this is the home that your love built. And in these challenging days, perhaps we have never needed this congregation more. So my friends, welcome home. May we bless each other. May we be a blessing to this world. Amen. So may it be. My benediction this morning is my version that I wrote for a Unitarian Universalist version of the Unity Prayer. May the light of love surround us. May love enfold us. May the power of love protect us. May love watch over us. Wherever we are, love is, and all will be well. My friends, go in peace. May our real service begin. And now will you join the choir in singing Sister Sledge's We Are Family along with the band. I'm going to invite you to feel free to sing, to get up, and to dance. We're going to invite you to sing the chorus with the choir. And if there are any children who want to come forward and help us lead in dancing, I would love to see you. And I know Millie said she'd come forward. Marisol, can I get you come forward? Ellie? Oh, Jane, I need to see you.
thank you to everyone who joined us for this very special service today. We invite you to stop and greet Reverend Deborah at the doors at the back of the social hall and to join us for food and fellowship in the hall. Today is the last day to pay for your spot at the 75th anniversary gala on Saturday, September 23rd. Stop by the table in the social hall and please view the 75 years of history display in the art gallery. And next Sunday, there'll be a service, a history presentation about our years at Browns Road.